So we are now continuing Sotah, Daf Lamed Tesav Aleph, Sotah page 39, and here we continue talking about related to what happens in the synagogue as we're speaking about the kohanim and how they bless people in the shuls. So we talk about other things related to the synagogue. So the Gemara says, Rava said in the name, Rava, the son of Rav Huna, said that when you're in a shul and the Sefer Torah is opened up to read, you're not allowed to speak. Not only you're not allowed to speak plain talk, but you're not allowed to even talk a Torah or halacha or law. But it says that when the Torah is opened up, they all stood up, and standing up means you have to be quiet as well. Rav Zera says, he learned it from a different verse. It says that all the people were paying attention, their ears were to the Torah. Rabbi Yeshua, the son of Levi, says, any kohen that goes up to duch, to bless the people, but he didn't wash his hands, he's not allowed to bless the people. You have to first wash your hands, just like in the Mishkan. They washed their hands before they did any service. You have to wash your hands, like it says, to raise your hands up, to be holy, and then you bless Hashem. So you have to raise your hands up, means you're washing your hands. So the students of Elazar, the son of Shamua, asked him a question, how come you lived a long life? So he said three things. Number one is, I never use the shul as a shortcut. Meaning I never went into shul because it's a shortcut to take me quicker somewhere. I always went into shul for the purpose of praying and studying. And also I never, even though I used to have a place up front, I never used to step on top of people to get to my place. I would always come earlier so I won't be disrespectful to people when I go to my rightful place. And I also never blessed the people, the Birchas Kohanim, without making a bracha. What is the bracha that you say? So the bracha that we say is, Rav Zera said in the name of Chis, the bracha says that that he had sanctified us with the sanctification of Aaron, the Kohen, with Tzibano, and he had commanded us to bless the Jewish people with love. When he goes up to Duchen, before he actually does the bracha and the blessing, he says, may be Hashem's will that this blessing that Hashem commanded us to bless the Jewish people should not have any type of stumbling block or sin, and it should be done fully the right way. And then when you finish the blessing and you turn your face back away from facing the crowd to the front, then what do you say there? So there you say, Ribono Shel Olam, Master of the world, we did what you had commanded us. Now do what you had promised to us. Look up from heaven and bless the Jewish people. Rav Chisda says that the kohen is not allowed to put down. When they hold up their hands and they separate their fingers, you're not allowed to make a fist again, a regular fist, until you turn back around after the blessing, away from the community. Rav Zera said in the name of Rav Chisda that it's very important when these types of blessings are said, and the chazan, there's the kohen, there's the people answering amen, that no one should be saying the same thing at the same time. So you cannot say kohanim until the tzibur said amen after the bracha that he's saying in Amidah. And the kohanim cannot finish their bracha until he says kohanim. And the tzibur, the community, cannot answer amen until the bracha is fully finished by the kohanim. And the kohanim are not allowed to start the second bracha, of the three brachas, Yivracha, Yoir, and Yisa, until the tzibur, the community says amen. So I want to make sure that their words are never at the same time as other people's words. Rav Zera said, name Rav Chisda, the kohanim are not allowed to turn away from the community that they're blessing until the chazan begins Sim Shalom, which is the next blessing after the kohanim. And they're not allowed to leave the place where they did the blessing from until he finishes the blessing of Sim Shalom and the repetition. Rav Zera said, name Rav Chisda, that the community is not allowed to answer amen until this is when they're reading the Torah, until the one who's reading the Torah finishes the bracha. And the one who's reading the Torah cannot start reading until the group finish saying amen. And the one who translates, in those days they used to read the Torah, not everyone understood Hebrew, they used to translate, is not allowed to begin translation until the one who's reading the Torah finishes the verse completely. And the one who's reading the Torah cannot begin the next verse until the one who's translating finishes saying this thing. Again, so no two people are talking at the same time. Rav Tanchel said in the name of Yeshua ben Levi that someone who is saying the Haftarah and the prophets must read in the Torah first. That's where we have the Maftar, where you get a few verses of reading in the Torah. Taka said, name of Yeshua ben Levi, and the one who's saying Maftar is not allowed to say Maftar until the Torah was closed up fully and completely. And also it says, Taka name of Yeshua ben Levi, that the Shliach Tzibur, the Chazan, is not allowed to undress the table because they used to put something on the table to put the Torah on. You're not allowed to do that while the community is still there. You just take the Torah off, and only later, after the prayers are over, you take that off for the honor of the tzibur of the community. Atata said, name of Yeshua ben Levi, again, another thing, that the tzibur, the community, is not allowed to go out of the shul until the Sefer Torah, because those days the Sefer Torah was in another room. So if there was taken out and put in its place. But Shmuel says they can go once it's gone. So how do you reconcile when could you go only once you take the Torah out or once it's put back in its place? So he says like it depends if there are two doors or one door in the shul. If there are two doors in the shul, once the Torah is sort of taken off the table, you're allowed to go out. It's already gone on the way. It doesn't look like you left before the Torah left. But if there's only one door, it doesn't look respectful that you leave before the Torah leaves. Rava says that Barahina, a person, explained it to me because it says, you should go after God and not before God. When the Kohanim are blessing the people, what do they say? What do the Jewish people hearing the blessing? What do they say to acknowledge the blessing? So Reb Zera said, Reb Chisda, they say for every one of the three blessings, they say a different blessing. He said, bless the Baruch Hashem Allah, bless the angels, the ones who are strong. Blessed are all the Hashem Tzvadas, constellations, those who serve Hashem. And blessed are everything Hashem made, everywhere. Baruch Hashem, we bless Hashem. That's every day. On Musaf of Shabbos, when you had it's a prayer of Musaf you don't have during the week, what do they say? There they say three different prayers. There you say, Shir Mouth, praise for the heights. The King David said, we want to bless Hashem, all of those who serve Hashem. Raise your hands to holy and bless holiness and bless Hashem. Bless Hashem from Zion, the one who dwells in Jerusalem. The Gemara says, how come you don't say Yivarech Hashem, God should bless you from Zion? Because that's in the same verses. He says, because all the other blessings that the Jewish people say, they must kind of begin with the blessing, so therefore you say the word Baruch at the beginning as well. What happens in the Mincha of a fast day when they also say Berachos Kohanim? They say different prayers. He says, if we have any sins, do what's for your sake and forgive us. That Hashem is our hope and He helps us in a difficult time. Why should we be like someone that's not helpful? Hashem is with us and He'll help us. What happens in the Ilah, which is also unique time when we say Berachos Kohanim? So there we say three different verses that the soul shall be blessed, the soul who is fearful of Hashem. Hashem shall bless you from Zion, the same verse we mentioned earlier. You should see the good things of Jerusalem of your life. You should see children of your children, you should see grandchildren following in the Jewish ways. When do you actually say these things? So some say between every bracha. And some say when they say the word Hashem, that's when you say these things. This is today's reading of Talmud, page 39. Have a great day.